Yesterday I got out here. We finished getting everything kind of cleaned up and sanded. And we got the pattern laid on to the boxes or the design or what have you. Now the bottom box here, we did a circle with a star on them. Did the same thing. Each side of that box has a circle with a star on it. And they're ready for carving. The top box I did differently. We did the same border and we did the circle, but I did HT in the center of it instead of the star. And what does HT stand for? Well, what the heck's the name of my display, my haunt? The Haunted Tents. So HT. And we did that on the head box. And I'm calling this the head box because this is where the head sits on the mech. But anyway, we're all set up. We're good to go. I am going to go ahead and we're going to start carving. On all the boxes, whatever design, whether it's the star or the HT, that's going to get carved out. And then we're going to carve out this area inside the border and on the outside of the circle. We're going to carve that down too. And then we'll be into paint. I don't know how long it's going to take. Especially since I have to do this standing up. Normally when I'm doing my carving, I put the piece on the table, I'm sitting down, and we just carve. With me being standing, I'll be taking lots of breaks. Okay. One done. The head box, as I'm calling it. It's been carved. I've done my sanding on it. And I've come back through with some caulking and fixed up any mars that I don't want showing after I paint it. Up here on the top, I think I explained in the other one, my mech has a slight twist to it when it goes up and down, so the lid wants to canter a little bit. I left a big gap up here so when it comes back down it doesn't hook on the outside edge. And this thing is about 6'5", so most people won't even notice a gap up here. But anyway, I can get this out of the shop and let it dry for a day or two. I gotta make sure all the caulking and stuff is totally dry before I paint. And that means it's time to do that box. That's the middle box. I gotta get it carved. And it's gonna take longer because it's a bigger box. Well, it's been about a week or so. We got the carving done. Right there. Carving, I just finished it. They've been sanded as much as I'm going to sand them. And I went through on my screw holes and stuff and caulked them. So now we're officially ready for paint. Now this is probably going to be the last time you're going to see these three all together like this until such time as the painting is done. Now what we're going to do for colors is I'm going to spray all the boxes with 2 or 3 coats of white, and this middle section in here in between the circle and the outside trim on all the panels will stay white. Then I picked up 3 quarts of paint, green, blue, red, and each box will get its own color. Like this one will be red, this one will be blue, the bottom one will be green. And we're going to do the trim and the balls or the circles in that color. And then once that's dry, we're going to come back and like here on the top box we have HT for Haunted Tents, and then on the other 2 we have stars. We'll come back and we'll probably end up doing those in gold. Now, another piece to this puzzle is this here. This is the barrel that the head was in, that the hammer from the Hammer and Clown hit, and we also had a water blaster in here. I want to incorporate this into this prop. So what we're going to do, since I'm going to be working on white tomorrow, we're going to come in here and we'll probably give this 2 or 3 coats. I've gone through, I've sanded everything down, and then took my air nozzle from air compressor, set up a 125 pound pressure, went over the thing, and any loose paint got taken off. You know, like, you know, here there was some loose paint. Over here there was a huge red drip down here. Most of it came off. You know, the whole barrel got treated that way. But we're going to coat this in 3 coats of white. And then I'm going to do 3 of the star circles, or star balls, or whatever you want to call them. 1 on each end and 1 in the middle. And we'll do red, green, blue with the gold lettering on them. You know, to decorate this up so it blends in to that prop. Because the blood drips and the green stripes really don't fit this prop, and I want to reuse it, the head, or a different head. I don't know yet if I'm going to end up buying new heads and masks for this, but I want to keep the water blaster. You know, like I think I explained earlier in the vlog, I want the head to pop out of the top. And as it's going back down, I want the water blaster and the air blaster to fire off almost instantaneously, you know, at the same time. You know, to give another scare. Plus, that'll help people get a little wet. If I have it programmed right, as the water is going up, the air blaster should go off and catch some of it and blow it at people. I want people wet this year. This is a wet prop. I'm hoping. I don't know. We'll find out when we go to do a reveal video. If I do a reveal video on this, I just might make you wait. But anyway, tomorrow we're going to get started on doing the white. And depending on how the temperature is, I might be able to get 2 coats of white on tomorrow. Depending on my time. And there we go. All 3 boxes. Assembled as they will be when the prop is active. Boxes are officially done. We got our green, we got our blue, and we got our red. Now my next step, though this part's done, is this here. That's the mechanism. And I'm missing the air cylinder that goes on here that will drive the head up and down. That got delivered here a couple of weeks back. Several days after I put this guy aside and started working on that. I got to get this guy into the shop, I've got to get the cylinder attached, and then the whole framework is going to get painted as well. Not the mask, I'll take the mask off at that point. But the whole thing needs to get a coat of paint on it so the metal won't rust as much. It always rusts at some point, but first, before I can get started on that, I need to get in here and get the mess and stuff cleaned up and put away. Then we'll drag out the welding stuff. I gotta weld some tabs onto the framework so we can mount this bad boy. And that's the piston that drives it. So, one part of the project's done, another part of the project still to go. And actually getting the cylinder onto the mech shouldn't take all that long. I got 2 tabs I've got to kind of weld on, then I got to mount it and attach it. So, hey, it's been several days, about 4 days. Ran into a problem. I went and ordered the cylinder, ordered the clevis or whatever it's called that fits up on the end that joins to the top part of the mech that actually moves. I screwed up on the bracket for the base end. I ordered the wrong one. They sent me 2 of these. These are a nose mount. In other words, it mounts up here on the top of the cylinder. It won't work for the application I'm doing. These just came in today. These will fit down here. And I needed those in so I got 2 pieces I've got to weld on. And I'm not sure if I'm going to do it out the back or out the front. I got to look at it yet. I need to weld a tab on here to fit the top part of that cylinder on. And then down here I need to do a plate on the bottom to fit the brackets for the bottom of the cylinder. And without those brackets on the back, I got to play around and figure out if I want it offset or centered. what have you. I need the brackets for it. So anyway, I got the brackets now. Now I need to get my pieces cut and figure out how I'm going to attach it. Well, it took a little bit, but we got our pieces welded on. The butt of the cylinder, actually I'll just bring the cylinder over, will mount right there, and it does fit. And then this part goes in there, and there's a pin there. And when the cylinder activates, the top portion of the cylinder, don't want to drop the cylinder, will make this rise up and down. So I'm as far on the build as I can go. My next step, I'm going to do that now. Just got done with dinner. Is I'm going to take the top portion loose. We're going to disassemble the whole thing, and I got to clean it up, and we're going to get it painted tonight. That way I can get the cylinder attached onto it, and we might actually, well, back at it next day. We got our brackets and stuff on for the cylinder, and I got out here afterwards, after things cooled down, because that metal got hot, and we got all the mechanic pieces painted. That'll help protect them a little bit from rust. Our next step now is, one, I got to get everything that's hung up down. And we're going to get the neck put together. I do have a little bit of work on the cylinder to do. I got to get its fittings on, and then we'll get it mounted to the frame. And then I think I'm going to start working on getting it plumbed and getting it set up. I've got to test the mech, make sure it works. If it works right, I'll do a reveal vlog. If it isn't working right, something's not working, I'll get that fixed, and then we'll do a reveal vlog. So we're getting right down to the end of the project, folks. Alright, last segment, and then we're done with this vlog, I think. I'm in the process of assembling now. This is one piece you haven't seen yet. This is the old barrel for the Hammer and Clown that had the green and white stripes with the blood drips on it. I've repainted it to match. And it's got a red star, a blue star, and of course a green star to match the boxes on it. Still need to get the head put in. Haven't done that yet, and that'll be in a little while. But back here, we've got the mech in. Got the cylinders attached and works. And the head will raise up about like that, and then come back down. And of course, we've got the lid for it over there that goes on here. Got all the plumbing and everything ran out to the back. There's a better look at the air blaster, and I've got an air hose set up for that, ran out back, and the power cord for the switch runs out back. Now I left things long enough, because when this is installed in the haunt, it's going to be right up against the wall. Mine, it's about a ½ inch to let the hoses and stuff out. And I could probably put them out underneath the box if I needed to. In fact, I might end up doing that, come to think of it. But when this thing activates, the head goes up, and as it slowly starts coming down, the water blaster that's going to be in that barrel and the air blaster will both go off almost simultaneously, both at the same time is what I'm hoping for. I want the air to kind of hit the water and blow some of it out at the people as they pass by in front of it. And of course, this is all going to be hidden inside the blue and the green box, so no one's going to see the mech or anything. And with it being new, no one's going to know what the heck it is until it's too late. So it should be fun. Like I said, this is the last segment for this vlog. I am going to shoot a reveal video for it, whether I get to it today or tomorrow. I don't know. It depends on how much energy I have. And if I find any bugs, putting those two boxes on, I'm going to have to get those kind of fixed. I shouldn't have any bugs, really. So we'll see you next vlog. Stay spooky, stay toxic.